Who's in the starting five?
We're going to start Smart and Morris for Al and Jaylen.
What went into the decision, Marcus Smart over?
Well, it's a little different when you're missing two starters than one. And obviously, you know, we're going to have to match a ton of different guys onto Oladipo, but Smart will be one of them and one of the guys that we need to make sure is on there as much as possible. So it just became a matter of we're going to need, especially two guys down, Smart and Morris, to play more minutes than usual.
What is the latest with Jaylen?
Jaylen felt better today. Today was his best day, obviously. Headache is you know, his head feels better is the way he phrased it to me, and you know, his body's starting to feel a little bit better. So he's making progress, but it's still, you know, I don't anticipate him again being on the court this week, and but hopefully as we enter next week, you know, we'll see where he is in the protocol.
With Al and Jaylen Brown just out right now, how much of a challenge is this Pacers team with Oladipo as well?
They're a challenge with them. So, I mean, they are a heck of a team. Nate's done a great job. Really tough, really smart. I was saying earlier, like, the way that they played against us last game was outstanding. They deserve a ton of credit for how they played all year. You know, they're healthy, which is great as you enter this stretch run here. And they've really had a heck of a season.
Brad, with Al, is it just a bug? Hopefully a 24-hour bug?
He's in bed, hurt. So that's all I know. You know, I don't know. I guess he has a fever, and he tried to come in, and we just told him to stay home.
Is Jaylen, you know, is he supposed to stay at home? Is he allowed to use with people?
He went to Waltham today to meet with our doctors. But we've told him to stay at home as well. He may be here Wednesday, but just a couple of days out now. And again, we just don't want him moving around, driving around, and everything else. He still again has a little bit of a headache, and then he hasn't even started a progression back, and still sore from the fall.
Brad, how much attention do you pay to standings and seedings at this point in the season?
Not as much as my son.
Good. Brady keeps you.
He keeps me up to
abreast
speed
of everything.
Yeah. So I mean, it's you know, I think obviously you have an idea. I can't keep track of all the stuff that's going on in each conference. It's amazing how tight some of those things are on both sides. But you know, you just want to again focus on playing good basketball. You can't control things with the exception of your play in your games, and the opponents are hard enough. You try to focus on everything else. It's awfully tough.
How much of a goal would it be to finish with the top record in the conference?
You try to win the next game, Bill, and if that means you end up finishing with the top record in the conference, then that's gravy. I mean, at the end of the day, we are focused on this game, and this game is hard enough, and we're going to try to focus to win. Same thing we said last year. Like, if it happens, it happens because we play well, but it's not going to happen if we don't. So, you know, obviously the competition's great. There's other teams that are playing great. Toronto's having an unreal year and has been really consistent all year. All we can do is focus on us.
Brad, have you seen anything different in Oladipo's game this year as opposed to with OKC or Orlando?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, he's way better at everything. But that's not necessarily because he didn't have it. It's maybe because of opportunity, maybe because of the fact that the way they're playing, they're running more middle pick and rolls than anybody in the league, and he's gotten great going both directions off the pick and roll, making plays off pickups, making plays at the rim, making plays behind the screen. Oladipo's always had an elite work ethic, an elite attitude, and everything else, and you can kind of see his belief spreading to that whole group. You could see it from the get-go this year.
Brett, what's your favorite Selection Sunday memory, whether it be a bracket or how you spent the day with your team?
No, the favorite Selection Sunday memories, Adam, were when you knew you were in, because when you weren't, it stunk. But I can tell you my worst when we didn't make it, when we were 25-5. But all of them are memorable. This is a special time of the year for those players and coaches to get a chance to experience. As I just said to Sean on the radio, I'm thrilled for my friends that are in it. I'm anxious for my friends that don't know, and and I'm looking forward, like all of you, to following it as a fan and having fun with it and rooting for one team over everybody else.
Jeremiah was just in here, notified us that your record, your high school record, leading your high school in scoring, has fallen the last couple of days.
About time.
Yeah,
You've seen me play? Like, thank goodness.
I feel like we didn't know. Is that, yeah? How did you?
No, I mean, it's my high school ended up winning their the first part of the tournament, which is called the sectionals in Indiana, which is I mean, to me, it was like a huge deal to be able to compete in the Indiana State basketball tournament. I mean, if you look online and look at some of the crowds that were at some of those gyms yesterday, it was special to play in high school in the state of Indiana, and so I got to spend time following, at least from afar, my high school play all the way through yesterday, and thank goodness it fell. No, I know the kid's family who broke it, and it's really cool. I'm glad that it's no longer a talking point. It needed to be done a long time ago.
Do you have is Indiana basketball part of your DNA in terms of?
Yeah, every kid that grew up there, and I think that that's one of the things that the Pacers mean a lot to that city and that place, and I know how much my friends and everybody appreciate the way they're playing right now and the way that they're competing, because when you grow up there, it is one of the things, and one of the things you do is on Friday and Saturday nights you go to high school basketball games, and sometimes it's hard to get a ticket, and those were fun memories growing up.